What's going on, everybody? I think I'm live. I wanted to pop on here and talk to you guys about the concept of creating motivations that stick versus just going out and doing things from the perspective of desperation of, hey, this is something that the world is telling me I need to do, and so I'm going to go out and do it, whether that be in your finances, whether that be in your fitness, whether that be in your relationships, what have you. I hope this video can be helpful, and if you stick around to the end, I'm going to give you a free little questionnaire essentially that I built that's going to help you find that mind, body, spirit alignment just by analyzing your unconscious patterns. And before any of you start coming at me for the shirt, I know you're like, Zach, don't you wear the same shirt in every video? No, I have like 30 of these specific shirts. So before the hate comes in, I'm just going to kind of give you guys that disclaimer. But I figured I would frame this video from the perspective of a couple stories because I think having those stories to refer to is really, really powerful. And so the first story that I'm going to talk to you about is how kind of I entered the fitness arena. And for those of you that follow me and you've seen a lot of my content, you probably have heard this story probably a million times at this point. But the concept is generally this, that in early high school, kind of late middle school, when I first started getting into fitness, what's up, man? It was really for a pretty toxic reason. I was bullied pretty relentlessly for my ribs. I had some other kind of very, bony body structures, I guess you could say, that people kind of poked fun at me for. And it got to the point that I just didn't feel at all comfortable in my own skin. And so I sought out really, physical enhancement as the way that I was going to get past that, right? I sought it out in the form of fitness, diet, whatever else. And I just thought that, by putting on a bunch of muscle, people were going to stop bullying me. But the thought process that I had in my head was really that by putting on all this muscle, I was gonna look super badass, and all these girls were gonna like me and all this other stuff. Okay, and so I started getting into fitness. I started working out on a regular basis. I started eating that in a way that was in conjunction with gaining a lot of size. And as the years went on, I succeeded. I pretty quickly found myself pretty shredded. I had a six pack, all this other stuff. Starting to see these other muscle gains, getting a lot of compliments from people about it, but there wasn't a whole lot of self-validation, right? I never really felt super good about myself. I never really felt like, hey, this is something that I succeeded at and I achieved. And it got to the point where I was going to the gym and I was seeking out fitness almost as this methodology of self-punishment. And I didn't realize this, right? I wasn't conscious of this. I just thought, hey, I'm pushing towards these goals that I've set for myself. But the reality is that I never really set those goals, right? I let other people's expectations be put upon me, and then I decided to act out of desperation, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video. And so over the years, I was quite simply punishing myself. I was just going after these arbitrary achievements. The more that I achieved, the more insecure that I felt about myself, and onward in this really toxic cycle that just kind of continued up until I had a pretty tremendous basically loss in my life. And what that loss caused me to realize was that I had all of these intentions that were kind of not from this place of true authenticity. And this was, in my fitness, this was in my business, this was in the other relationships that I was building. What's up, David? And so when I went through this loss, I kind of had this realization that there is no importance in anything inherently in life, right? The only importance is what you are giving importance to. And what I'd realized was up until this point, I was really giving my importance away to other people and other people's expectations. And so when I finally had this kind of come to Jesus moment, or, whatever you want to call it, I started to really analyze why I was doing things. And a lot of people would say, well, you were lucky to get into such constructive outlets up until that point. Well, you might think that, but from the external perspective, it might have looked like, oh, well, you're just grinding away in the gym, but I was grinding away in a lot of other things. I was grinding my mind away, with substances. I was grinding my soul away with toxic relationships. And the gym was just kind of this, Chris, what's going on, man? The gym was just kind of this surface level thing. But even that was not the best use of my energy. And as soon as I discovered these things, as soon as I kind of was like, okay, I'm going to go analyze my own motivations and see what do I really want in life? And, when I started to analyze these things and I started to find that, really valuing love, really valuing friendships, really valuing the progress of all these social movements that I was involved in to whatever degree, that's what really was important to me. And a lot of the activities that I started pivoting to were pretty much the same, right? I was still in the gym. I was still building businesses. I was still dating people and whatever else. But I found that it was so much easier. It was so much more natural because I had this true sense of self first, right? I had this true sense of I really love myself, right? I want to see myself succeed for me, not for anybody else, not for even the world, right? Not for even these other kinds of intentions that I had. And so by allowing this wholesome sense of self love to be my guiding light rather than other people's expectations, I found things to become so much easier. And so, what do I mean by this? Well, my progress in the gym became significantly enhanced, I guess you could say. I found that I had a lot more energy. I found that I was gaining the mass that I wanted to be gaining a lot faster, while also allowing myself to do things that I wouldn't have necessarily allowed myself to do otherwise. So things like yoga, things like getting back into acrobatics and tricking. If any of you are familiar with parkour, tricking, stuff like that, I allowed myself to get back into this space. And so my progress became significantly more advanced. And I think a lot of people will ask me, well, what did you actually do, right? What were the actual things that you went out and did? And I could tell you all, I could tell you, the little things that I did to optimize my diet. I could tell you about the little things that I did to enhance my cardio, which, gave me more energy, gave me more of a sense of effective oxygenation in my blood and whatnot. But that's not really what any of this is about, right? That's the actual nitty gritty of what I went out and did is so variable. It could vary completely from person to person, and it would still, give you the same internal effects of your spirit growing and feeling more positive, which is I raise my vibration. And it seems so simple, but it's true. When you find self love, when you pursue something that is an internal motivation rather than an external motivation, right? So trying to match your standards to other people, what other people's expectations are, you're just going to feel a lot better. And so it's a kind of a simple story. It's like you look back at what I'm doing in fitness and it's not a whole lot different, but I feel infinitely different about how I look, about how I, physically feel, about my appreciation of the pursuits that I have. Same thing in like business and my relationships. I'm working significant. It's like I'm working differently in my businesses, but I'm getting such better results. And again, the reason is because I'm doing it from a place of love. I'm not doing it from a place of pursuing money. I'm doing it from a place of pursuing what I really fucking want to do, right? Which is talk to people, have these conversations with people, see other people level up. And yeah, to some degree, it's for them. I do love seeing my clients make achievements, but nothing feels better to me than having those conversations, right? And I'm making more money, ironically. So just a quick plug for you guys that are feeling like you're trying really hard and you're not making as much progress as you want to make. I would challenge you to really analyze your motivations and analyze where is this energy coming from, right? Where is this desire to make change, to progress coming from? Is it coming from a genuine place of self-love and wanting to be the best version of yourself for yourself? Or is it coming from a place of creating ideals that are not necessarily yours? And so, like I said, I did create like a little questionnaire that you guys can have. And so if you want that, drop a comment. Just say I'm conscious or something random like that, and I'm happy to send that to you. But I do think that by asking yourself these questions, by taking time to be present and analyze your motivations, you will get so much farther in life than you ever could with some other kind of strategy that might be something like, that next big thing, whether it be meditation, whether it be journaling, whether it be, that next exercise program that's on the markets. I promise you guys, it's none of those things. You're not missing any of those things, right? You're missing that sense of genuine connection to your spirit, to who you really are. So I hope this was helpful. Just a quick rant. I'm trying to do more of these rants because I do enjoy ranting. So hope this was helpful for you guys. Much love. If you have any questions, drop them below. But until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.